Every story holds a spark of the human spirit. It's time to really let that light shine. This is Conjuring the Human Spirit, hosted by Sean McGuire Meeks, a space for honest conversations, deep connection, and the shared journey of being fully alive. This season, Sean also welcomes guests who open up about their own transformations and experiences, reminding us all what it means to heal, grow, and thrive, one story at a time. You're invited. Let's begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conjuring the Human Spirit. My name is Sean McGuire Meeks on a beautiful Christmas morning here at the farm. If I am fortunate enough for you to be joining me, a Merry Christmas to you. And I thought today we might talk a little bit about gay Christmas. I'm like, what does that mean? What does gay Christmas mean? What does it mean to you if you're gay out there listening? And if you're straight, you're probably saying, what the heck is he talking about, gay Christmas? And so I hope today we're going to put a little jingle in your jangle. We're going to have you reflect a little bit on what it's been like for you to be gay at Christmas time. And then for those of you who aren't gay, I really want you to understand what it's like for us. I find that many times we don't understand unless we're walking in those shoes, and walking in these gay shoes. I just got this vision of Dorothy and the ruby red slippers. I'm not walking in them, but I know some of y'all are out there on Christmas morning. Maybe you got them under the tree, and maybe that's all you wanted. And Daddy said no, and Mama said yes. And you opened that package, and there was those shoes, those ruby red shoes. And again, as a gay kid, is there anything wrong with that? And that little boy who wanted those shoes just was a pair of shoes. We made such a big deal about that when we were kids. As a gay kid, what does it mean to want Barbie for Christmas? I never wanted those things, but I know many of my friends wanted those things, and the shame that many of these young kids felt when they were growing up as gay kids, or maybe it was the girl who wanted G.I. Joe or the Tonka truck. These gender roles and labels that we put on children with just the innocence of the spirit that longs for what it longs for. And the adults and all the preconceived notions about color, and, we've got to get him a blue shirt and her a pink shirt and all of that. It all just seems so silly. And yet it really is what it means to be gay at Christmas. When I was thinking about talking to y'all about this morning, so many things came up for me around what it was like for me. And I'm curious what it has been like for you. Take a moment and reflect on what Christmas has been like. Has it been hard at times to be gay? Have you had to hide a little bit? Have you had to hide a lot? Maybe you're still hiding, and no one knows who you are as you're mingling about with the mask on at Christmas time and Christmas morning. Maybe you're having to celebrate the Tonka truck when you wish you had gotten the pink pair of whatever, and say, oh, I love it. It's the best gift I ever had. And inside you're like, I really wish that I would have got that Tonka truck, As I reflect on Christmas and think about many of my friends who get up in the morning and go to a church where they say that we're not worthy to celebrate the birth of grace, the birth of newness, the birth of a light, and yet if we approached as our true self on Christmas morning, we're not even welcome, I would say, in most places. And so what does that do? How does the gay person celebrate Christmas? How do we really step into that place of worthiness on Christmas morning? It just is kind of, not just kind of, it is who we are. It is who I am. It is who you are. And I think we have come a long way. There's no question. I think as I reflect 25 years ago when my husband and I it was actually 27 years ago, we had a commitment ceremony around the Christmas time. I can see from here in my little corner at the farm, the picture of the two of us standing at 27 and 37 years old behind a Christmas tree. Our Christmas tree was behind us in our tuxedos, celebrating our love for one another, and no family was there. Everyone was invited, and no one came. And so that's kind of what it's like for gay Christmas for a lot of us. And certainly, I remember when I met Jeff 30 years ago, it's always marked by Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, because that was the year that it was released. And I remember like 5 years ago, it's like the 25th anniversary of All I Want for Christmas. And I'm like, certainly I'm not that old. Like, how can that be 25 years? I'm still in my 30s, of course. Look very handsome and striking, if I do say so myself. But 25 years ago, certainly not. And yet 25 years ago, I remember hopping on a plane without my love, flying to a place where I couldn't even mention his name, sneaking back into a room at my grandmother's house so that I could be on a call with him and just to say all I wanted for Christmas was him. And the inability to share that, particularly it's such a joyous time of the year, to tell my family and friends about the new love that I have, was just it was a time of connection with who I was and with him, and a time of disconnection with my family. And it was just so unnecessary. Maybe you feel the same way. I was talking to a friend the other day that said when he brings his husband to Christmas, that no one speaks to him. Yet his brother has a wife and she's alcoholic and they embrace her and she's a mess. His husband is gentle and kind and no one speaks. So it got to be where he said, I'm not going to go anymore. You're going to disrespect him, then I won't be there. And in my life, that's how it ended up being when Jeff was no longer invited. He was never invited, actually, ever in the beginning. He was not allowed there. And so then I stopped going, because if you can't accept the person that I loved, then I'm not going to be there either. And it's so sad because, my people, my LGBTQ plus people, if you don't know us, then you don't know how kind we are and how gentle we are and how much joy we have in our hearts for community, for one another, for family, for connection, for holidays in particular. And boy, are you missing out. Boy, are you missing out on this lightheartedness that we bring to the table. I'm doing all kinds of renovations here at the farm, and I was reminded of the gentleness of the Latin people too, and how most recently they've been just pushed to the edge, and they're on every news program and station, and they've been working so hard. They get here at sunrise and leave at sunset. They have a smile on their face. They're in community. They're laughing, and the music is playing. And it reminded me of our community, of the gay community, and how we are. And I see them working together so hard and loving what they're doing and doing such great work for me. And, one of the fellows that was working here, he looked up at me probably day one or day two, and he wanted to affirm that we work hard. My people work hard. And it was almost as if like he was saying, it was in direct opposition to what is being said around Latin people and vilifying them. And I just really felt for him and really celebrated them probably a little bit more than I should have while they were here, because I understand what it means to be misunderstood. And at this time of year, it is particularly hard for us to be understood. And again, I'm just going to go back and say, I think you're really missing out. If you're straight and you have a gay son or a gay daughter or trans daughter or son, love them, embrace them, bring them into the fold. If you think you're the one winning, you're the one losing, I'm telling you. Because what we're doing over here, when you're pushing us away, is we're gathering in community with one another. And that's what happened for me. I was grateful to be part of a community in Atlanta where there were men and women, elders like myself, and Jeff and I will do that this year here at the farm, for all the people that don't have any place to go. I was invited. This is before I met Jeff. I was invited, and there I sat with all the orphans at the table at Christmas time in someone's house that I didn't know, that loved me unconditionally and said, "Merry Christmas," had a gift for me. And we laughed and sat around and we were in community, in family. They became our family. So when you who have a gay son or a daughter or trans or queer or whatever it is that you don't agree with, and you push them aside, you're really missing out, because we are creating and choosing our own families over here. It's not like we want to. We want to love you. We want to be in relationship. We want to be at Christmas with you, and we want to be treated with dignity and respect. And many of us, I think, we go in spite of the fact that we are being looked at side-eyed. We're being looked at and whispered about in our own family, in our own house, and we just take it. And there are many of us that say no more. We're not going to do that anymore. And so here, as I mentioned before, in Central Georgia, we are creating community, and people continue to move here, and people who don't have any family because they've been ostracized, or, I often say to everyone, are you lonely? I'm going to ask you who's listening right now. Are you lonely? I am, and I'm in community. I am, and I work hard to connect. Are you lonely? What are you doing? I want you to know that you're not alone, particularly on this Christmas. If I'm the only one that you're listening to this morning, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want you to know that I see you, and that you're not horrible, and that there is a community out there that experiences the same things that you're experiencing. You're not alone. These phones and apps and all of that have really divided us as a gay community. So it used to be, like I said, in Atlanta, there was a table full of people that were all alone, and they were invited, but we were in community. So the word spread. Joe's having a orphan Christmas party. Anyone who doesn't have any place to go on Christmas, they can come to Joe's house. And so I think those days are over, in that we're all so distracted by our phones. We think and pretend as if we're connected, and we're really not. And so if you're listening to this, maybe you're all by yourself. Maybe your family has said no. you can't come over. Or maybe you've set a healthy boundary for yourself and decided this year you're going to not be looked at sideways. You're going to have some self-respect, and you're going to stay home, or maybe you're just going to go out with a friend for Christmas. So that's some of what it means to be gay and to be gay at Christmas time. And, it's really unfortunate. I was looking at what it means to be Christian. There's so much talk around taking Christ out of Christmas when we say Xmas, or, that there's the pagan Christmas, which is where these trees have come from. And, these evergreen trees came from the pagan tradition in the Roman times and adopted by Christians, and sharing of the dates of winter solstice and Christmas, the death of Christ on March 25th, which really means 9 months later he is born, and that's how they did the prophets. When they were actually crucified, when they actually did die, 9 months later they were born, and so that's how we get December 25th. But I kind of I'm doing all this reframe around Christmas because I want the magic of Christmas in my own life, even as a gay guy, and I deserve it, and you deserve it too. And I had this epiphany last year around the nativity, and really, what does that mean? What is the nativity? I've got a nativity set sitting out already here on the on a table next to my spirit room, the front room up there. And last year I had it sitting next to the sacred bowls that are the crystal bowls that came out of a Canada crystal mine. And I would play them and just feel the resonance of the spirit of the Christ, the spirit of what is being born in me, this newness that's being born in me. And that's not an exclusive right or privilege for straight people. That you, the gay person, the trans person, whoever is listening, all of us deserve this newness, this unto us a son is given, unto all of us a son is given, unto us a son is born, in me, the Christ, the best part of me is kind of how I look at it. Last year, as a gay guy, I was ostracized by my family, and my story as Sean McGuire has been a wounded story, one of alcoholism and ostracization from my family for many years. My mother for her lifetime as an adult. I didn't have any relationship with her, and to have an elder, to have someone to look up to, was lots of women showed up when my mother abandoned me at 19. A lot of women showed up, but there weren't very many men. There weren't any men that showed up. And I have said this before, but Jack Meeks, this man, came into our restaurant that we had, and he showed up, and he said, "I love you," and he's a Christian, and he helped me to see that I deserve what he has. And I have so many wounds, honestly, around the Christ, the Christian, that I can't even authentically say that I am a Christian, and I don't think I ever will. But these reframes that I have around the beauty of the idea of the Christ is something that I was able to reframe last year, because last year I invited my dad, who I've been calling now dad for 18 years, here to offer him a gift of thank you at Christmas time. And that gift of thank you was me taking his name. And so now I'm Sean McGuire Meeks. This is a gay guy story of finding a dad who loves me, of finding someone that is there to love and support me through these ripples of love from his mother that loved him with all her heart, that loved Christmas, that then he was able to love me in a way I had unconditionally, that had never been loved before. And so at Christmas time last year, I became Sean McGuire Meeks. And so that nativity for me last year was really, as I played those crystal bowls and vibrated the name of Meeks, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is born in me, the better part of me, the better part of you. Unto you a son is given, unto you a son is born in you, the better part of you. And allowing that, despite what anybody else says, despite all their rhetoric around they own it and we can't have it and we're not deserving of it. And even if it's not the it or the they or the that which they say it is, let it be what it is for you and claim it like I did last year. Claim it at Christmas time on this Christmas day. Claim that better part of you and allow that light to be born in you, that light that was in the sky on Christmas Day. And bring it gifts like the wise men did, and celebrate it, and be in awe of it, and gather around it, gather around that beautiful spirit of you. You are worthy of that. I am worthy of that, gay or trans, straight or otherwise. Even if you can't adopt the Christian tradition, you are worthy of light being born in you on this day, with all these lights, with that light beaming in that starlight beaming in the sky, that North Star. Follow that. Let's follow that together on this podcast here at the farm. Let's celebrate that. Let's gather around you like they did me as a little boy, ostracized from my family at the dinner table of orphans at Christmas. And let's celebrate that in you and stoke that fire and let that light grow. And maybe you want to name it like I did, Sean McGuire Meeks. Maybe it's Alice something, whatever you want. Change your name. Change it even in your own head, the way we're thinking about us. Who do you want to be now? And me being a Meeks is allowing me to step into the better part of me, the less wounded me, the one that's loved and accepted at Christmas time. My dad is here at Christmas with his wife, celebrating me in spite of who I love. Imagine that, because God is love, right? So on this Christmas time, I celebrate you. I celebrate the light in you and the light in me, and the light in me sees the light in you. Even if you're gay. So I hope that puts some jingle in your jangle. And by that I mean, I hope that's encouraged you on this day, however you're feeling. Maybe it's lifted you up and inspired you in some kind of way, even if you're happy. And maybe you've put a little smile, or you feel my hug here from the farm on Christmas Day if you're sad. But the most important thing is, remember, you're not alone. You're not alone, and you have a community that loves you and waiting for you to step into community with us. And we're here waiting. And we're particularly here at the farm waiting, so know that for sure. You are welcome here. You're invited. So let's begin. From my heart to yours on Christmas morning, big hugs and love. Me, Jeff, Rumi, Plato, and Mr. Frog here at the farm.
You've been listening to Conjuring the Human Spirit with Sean McGuire Meeks. To connect with Sean, learn more about working one-on-one, or to grab your spot for an upcoming workshop, visit McGuireLife.com or tap the link in this episode's description. Thank you for joining us, and remember, you're not alone.